What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Taurean Reloaded channel. If you are new, please be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also be sure to have that bell clicked and have your notifications set to all so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video or go live. Also be sure to like, comment, and share this content on your various social media platforms. So I was sent this story right here. I was actually tagged in it on Instagram, and honestly, if I was not tagged in it, I would have not known this story had existed. And for some of you, this may be your first time hearing about this story, and this incident happened over a week ago. But I'm not surprised that it didn't get any type of airwaves. Now, I just recently did a video about Lance Stores, you know, the man out in Kentucky who basically committed a terroristic act against 3 cops out there. 3 of them died, including a canine, and he injured some other cops as well and was taken unalive. Well, here we have this individual right here whose name is Austin Patrick Hall, who was a suspect, or who is a suspect, in the shooting of 2 Bibb County sheriff deputies. And this is out of a place called Bibb County, Alabama. And I believe that he killed both of them, if I'm not mistaken. And look at this. Taken in alive. Now, what's the difference between him and Lance Stores besides the commonalities of them both being PC? This guy doesn't have not one bruise, not one scrape or scratch on his face. At least when they got Lance Stores, they did some damage to him, as you could clearly see in the picture, in his picture. But this guy, when they captured him, this is exactly how he looked. This was the mugshot that they took when they captured him. But let me go ahead and get into it. And by the way, I'm reading from WSFA.com, and the article was posted on June 29th and updated on June 30th. U.S. Marshal Marty Keeley has confirmed that Austin Patrick Hall, suspected of shooting 2 Bibb County Sheriff deputies Wednesday, was captured Thursday morning. According to District Attorney Michael Jackson, not the singer of course, Austin Patrick Hall was apprehended on Bulldog Bend in Bibb County. Hall is being held on no bond in the Shelby County Sheriff's Office for attempted murder, assault, police officer, gun. Okay, so he didn't kill him, but it said attempted murder, so he was trying to. Now look at that. He was able to get in just on the attempt of murder, and he was still taken in alive, unscathed. Meanwhile, Jalen Walker got riddled with 60 bullets, and he's deceased. But I bet you that those in the Sambo Sanctum ain't gonna talk about this, or those Blue Lives Matter advocates, they ain't gonna talk about this. This is another story they could talk about, but I know that they're not gonna cover, because again, it goes against their narrative. And the thing is, if this story can come across my way, I know they can find it. Or I know someone could have sent it to him, but I know no one would send it to him, because that would go against their narrative as well. Bibb County Sheriff Jody Wade spoke about the deputies who were shot. Wade asked everyone to continue to remember Deputy Brad Johnson's family. Wade said Johnson is going through the final processes to continue to save lives. Sheriff Wade said it's been said that a coward dies 1,000 deaths, but a hero but one, and Brad Johnson was a hero. Sheriff Wade also said investigator Chris Poole is recovering after he was released from UAB. In a touching Facebook post, current Lakeview Fire Board President Brandon Jones said this about Deputy Johnson. Prayers. Brad grew up in this department. He started as an explorer at 14 years old and became a lieutenant after reaching adulthood. Both he and his wife Ashley ran calls for us. They found a home in Bibb County and moved off, but the firefighter inside Brad always helped the department and others down the road. Please pray for Brad's family and friends. As Brad's chief, I would like to say thank you, Brad, for everything. You and I were not true blood brothers, but we made an oath that we would be years ago. I told Brad I was an only child, and he said, "No problem, Chief. I will be your brother." He sure was, and he would still call from time to time, as would I, to catch up or talk about days gone by. So it sounds to me like this Brad was the one that he killed, because they're speaking of him almost in the past tense. He sure was, and he would still call from time to... Oh, I already read that part. This is a tough pill to swallow. Please pray for Brad and his family/families. Hall's arrest and capture was a joint operation led by the Bibb County Sheriff's Office, troopers with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agencies, Highway Patrol Division, Aviation Unit, and special agents with... I'm not going to read all of that because all it's telling is just a laundry list of all the people that was involved, and it's a lot of agencies that was involved. Like, it's a huge list, but I'm not going to read all of that. And then it just goes back into the backstory of what I just read when it came to this particular story right here. I'm gonna look and see if there's anything else that I can find along with what I just read. Okay, so I Googled something right quick, and this article that I'm gonna read from was posted July 1st because now this is talking about his charges. It says suspect in shooting of 2 Alabama deputies charged with 3 counts of capital murder and attempted murder. You know, that capital murder, if he gets found guilty of that, and if Alabama has the death penalty, then he's going to the chair. No ifs, ands, or buts. But let me go ahead and get into this. The suspect in the killing of one Bibb County Sheriff's deputy and the wounding of another appeared before a judge Friday to hear the charges against him. Austin Patrick Hall, age 26, is charged with 3 counts of capital murder in the shooting death of Deputy Brad Johnson. The 3 charges are for killing a police officer, for shooting from a vehicle causing a death, and for shooting into a vehicle causing death. Now, what's interesting about that shooting part, or shooting from a vehicle, that's the same thing they tried to say Jalen Walker did. They tried to say that he shot from a vehicle, even though they clearly said that he was unarmed. So many news sources said he was unarmed. But this guy was clearly armed, shot from a vehicle, and then killed one of the cops while in the car, in his vehicle. And he gets taken in alive. But they want to say that, or make the claim that it's not racially motivated or race doesn't play a part. They can continue to say that until they're purple in the face, but we know different. And we also know when our intelligence is being insulted. It goes on to say he is also charged with attempted murder in the wounding of Deputy Chris Poole. According to court documents made public Friday, Hall was in a silver 2008 Toyota Corolla when he opened fire on a marked Bibb County Sheriff's Chevy pickup truck occupied by Johnson and Poole. For safety reasons, Friday's arraignment was held in the Shelby County Jail so that Hall would not have to be transported to Bibb County. Bibb County Circuit Judge Marvin Wiggins and District Attorney Michael Jackson, again not the singer, were in Shelby County for the proceedings. Media was not allowed into the hearing because it was being held in the jail, not a courtroom. Shelby County Sheriff's official said Hall appeared in person but did not speak during the hearing. Wiggins assigned attorneys Shelley Hood, Standridge, and Rob Lee to represent Hall. Hall is being held without bond in the Shelby County Jail. This tragedy is truly beyond what words can describe as heartbreaking. We lost a sheriff's deputy and a beloved colleague. The community lost a great leader with a servant's heart, but worst of all, his children lost their father. Bibb County Sheriff Jody Wade said in a statement released Friday. This event has shaken this community to its core. However, we will persevere to overcome this horrible situation and will continue on with the same resolve and dedication that Brad shared with us every single day. I pledge that Brad's memory will live on through our actions, and we are committed to sharing his legacy with unwavering devotion. I would also like to take a moment to say thank you to all of the first responders and to the community for the overwhelming love and support you have shown us during this difficult time, Wade said. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. District Attorney Michael Jackson said Bibb County Sheriff's deputies about 4 p.m. Wednesday were chasing Hall, a convicted felon with a lengthy criminal history, much like Lance Storrs. But interesting, they didn't find anything as far as I know on Jalen Walker. In a stolen vehicle, when the suspect fired shots, striking both deputies. Both deputies were rushed to UAB Hospital via a massive police escort along Interstate 65, traveling through Hoover and Homewood in Birmingham. Johnson, age 32, was shot in the head. He was officially pronounced dead at 3:18 p.m. Thursday. Poole was released Wednesday night and is recovering. A massive manhunt continued throughout Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. The U.S. Marshals, Gulf Coast Regional Fugitive Task, and other law enforcement officers found Hall hiding in a tent outside of a mobile home in Bibb County, at which he yelled that he was not armed and was taken into custody without further incident. Now, he yelled he was unarmed, but how in the world did a bullet come from his vehicle into another vehicle, killing one of them and injuring another? But he was unarmed. Hall has been arrested on at least 46 charges since he was 17. In October 2019, now keep in mind, it says since he was 17, he's 26 now. So you're talking about this man has a record that dates back 11 years, over a decade. I'm sorry, I got my math wrong. 9 years, almost a decade. In October 2019, Hall escaped the Camden Work Release Center. He had started a nearly 10-year sentence the previous year after being found guilty of second-degree theft of property. The Alabama Department of Corrections on Thursday declined to immediately comment on whether Hall had completed his sentence, and if so, when that sentence was complete. Hall was on the run for more than a month when he was taken into custody following a police chase that ended in Georgia. In that case, Oxford police officers tried to stop Hall when they spotted a vehicle that had been reported stolen out of Pelham. Police tried to pull over the vehicle, but the driver, Hall, refused to stop, and a chase ensued eastbound on Interstate 20. So you mean to tell me that they chased him before? Had he been black like Jalen Walker, this incident that we're talking about now most likely would not have happened. The pursuit ended when Georgia State Patrol pitted the suspect at mile marker 5. Hall's vehicle overturned, but he was not injured. At the time of his capture, Hall also had outstanding warrants in Chilton County for domestic violence, much like Lance Storrs, because his incident started off because it stemmed from a domestic violence situation inside of his home. After all, when the shootout was going on with Lance Storrs, I believe his wife and child were in there while all of that was going on. While he was being held in the Calhoun County Jail in 2020 after his recapture, court records show authorities say Hall attacked an officer and tried to choke him. He was charged with second-degree assault. Hall was indicted in Calhoun County in May on 10 charges of second-degree receiving stolen property, reckless endangerment, second-degree assault, certain persons prohibited from carrying a firearm, drug possession, resisting arrest. I just had to pause right there because, you know, they love to say that if black people just comply and listen to the police and don't resist and all that stuff. This guy did all of that and a whole lot more, and look at him. This is a current picture of him. Attempting to elude and third-degree burglary. Those indictments stem from a 2019 incident in Calhoun County. Hall in April was booked into the Chilton County Jail in connection with a 2019 third-degree burglary. He was released April 20th, 2022 after posting a $22,500 bond, court records show. Questions and outrage followed news of Hall's prior criminal record. My office is closely scrutinizing the policies that allow for a violent offender like Hall to walk free, said Attorney General Steve Marshall. The justice system failed these officers, and I will do everything in my power to ensure that doesn't happen again. How many times have we heard that before? I've done several videos on my channel over the last few years, and his story, unfortunately, is not unique. And unfortunately, it most likely won't be the last one of its kind. When is enough enough, said Oxford Police Chief Bill Partridge, who is often outspoken about suspects arrested after being returned to the streets. How many citizens and law enforcement officers must be injured or killed by career felons before it stops? Listen, I guess they have to think of his future. I guess that's what they had to think of. After all, he was 17 when his downward spiraling of crime kicked in, and it hasn't stopped. It was like a runaway train. No brakes at all. And is going to keep on going. Well, we'll see this time, because this time he hit the mother lode of murder, and he's been charged with hit with capital punishment or capital murder charges. So that might actually stop his train in its tracks. But we shall see. I won't hold my breath. Like I said, his story is not unique. I've covered stories of people like him before, and he most likely will not or ever be the last. Now, like I said, look at his mugshot. If he was standing upright and had on like a collar shirt and was smiling, you would think that this was either a picture for his driver's license or a work ID. And I say that because there's nothing going on with his face. Even with his shirt off, he doesn't have any markings or like visible injuries right here on his chest, on his collarbone, nothing. You would think that nothing happened. The only ones that had visible injuries is the one that survived their injuries and the one that lost their life to their injuries. Both cops, and might I add, both of them, like with the cops involved with Lance Storrs, PC. So again, will this be considered PC on PC crime? I ask that question again, since they love to bring up black on black crime in Chicago all the time. As a matter of fact, shout out to everybody who responded to the post that I made on my community tab earlier in the week. Good responses. The same applies here. But what about Alabama? And I'm not talking about the little small enclaves of black communities in Alabama. I'm talking about the ones like in this county, this Bibb County. I never heard of Bibb County. But if this is what comes out of that county, yeah, let's ask about it. What about Bibb County? But that's pretty much all I have to say for this story right here. I can't wait to see what y'all have to say down in the comments. Let me know what you think.